I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. I had to do another late show on Umar. I can't get Umar off my mind. No. I see social antisocial in the chat. What's up, sis? How you doing? This Umar is a fool. This Umar is a motherfucking fool. Oh, I see another person. Let me get this bitch ass nigga off the screen. I just couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. I'm so sorry. I just couldn't resist the joke. Welcome to another edition of We-On-Loc Nation. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We're gonna get into the meat and the potatoes of it. I just couldn't resist a good laugh. Oh boy. And he's live as we speak, but I'm not going to touch on anything this lunatic has to say. I'm going to go on to other stuff because the more this keeps going, the more he loses viewership. And he's going to continue to lose viewership because it's the same old wash, rinse, and repeat. So instead of falling into the trap of things, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go on to my content instead of getting into this old drag out nonsensical bullshit coming from Lenon's camp. But I do have a question though. I have one question for Lenon Honor fans. What does Lenon Honor do for you? Other than dox Umar, other than dox him, other than, dream about him at night, what does this Negro do for you? That is the question. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop the link. Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Umar for getting his citizenship, his dual citizenship in Ghana. I believe that is a beautiful thing. What does it mean to him, and what does it mean to the other? I believe it was about 300 people that got dual citizenship. I guess it means that not only the connection, but due to other things, I can't really name it off top of my head right now, but connecting to your people, connected to your culture, connected to your heritage, and just another place where other African Americans or American Africans or whatever, they need to go visit the motherland if you have not done so already. And no, you don't need to bring your Americanized systems over there. You don't need to bring your basketballs. You don't need to bring your footballs. Turn it down a little bit. You don't need to bring nothing over there, fam, but yourselves. There's a lot of stuff that the Europeans have already put in place that, quite frankly, don't need to be over there. Chinese is pretty much taking over some of the African cultures over there. They want people to speak Guyanese and Chinese and whatever else. What up, Andre?
What's good with you, bro?
What's
I
happening,
wanted
fam?
to I wanted to share some information as far as Lenon goes. Some things I just want a lot of people to acknowledge, just to understand about him, because I know a lot of I know the backstory behind the dude. I've been studying I've been studying the dude for since 2020. So I've been
Mhm.
really like, paying attention to just what his real agenda is, and I kind of really want to expose that to people. That way, people really understand what he's really about. So whenever you allow me to do that, I'll do that.
Go ahead, go right ahead, bro.
All
Go
right,
right
yeah,
ahead.
good. So basically, yeah. So Lenin, a lot of people assume that Lenin is, he's doing all these videos and all that kind of stuff for money. A lot of people believe that he's doing it for notoriety, and none of that is true. Some of that is true, but not all of it. First of all, what people need to understand about Lenin Honor is that he's jealous. He's jealous of Dr. Umar. Now, what I mean when I say he's jealous, you have to understand something. Lenin Honor originally wanted to be a life coach. He wanted to be a life coach so bad. He wanted to be exactly the type of person, the exactly who Dr. Umar is exactly what Lenin Honor wanted to be. Understand something. Lenin Honor, he wanted to be a family therapist. He wanted to be internationally known. He wanted to be known across the world. He used to speak on stuff like the same topics that Umar speaks on now. He wanted to speak on back in the day. He started his whole little career back in 2006, all the way up until, so he was like 28 up until his about mid 40s. It's when
Mhm.
he been pursuing this whole life coaching, family therapist, career he's been trying to accomplish. But he failed at it. He failed at it. And what people need to really understand is that he's jealous. He's extremely, extremely jealous of Dr. Umar Johnson. It's everything that Umar has accomplished. He wanted to be. He wanted to have. He Lennon Honor is a husband. He's a father of 5 kids. He wanted to be that model example for every other man on the world type of thing. You know what I mean? Like he used to give advice. He used to be on interviews. He used to be on radio interviews. He used to have his own radio shows. He produced documentaries, plenty of them. He wrote books. Everything failed. Everything failed. He wanted to be who Dr. Umar Johnson is, and I really want people to understand that's the angle that you need to address when you talk about him. It ain't got
Mm.
nothing to do with the money. It ain't got nothing to do with the notoriety. He's just jealous. He's trying to bring down Dr. Umar because he's mad that he's not where Dr. Umar was. He originally wanted to be exactly who Dr. Umar is. He's jealous of that. He's jealous of his success, everything that Umar has achieved. He wanted to achieve that. He wanted to be where he's at. He wanted to travel the world. He wanted to have the stage, the global stage. He wanted that for himself. So because he didn't accomplish that, because he didn't make it there, he's trying to take Umar Johnson down because he's angry. That's
Ah,
all this. That's all this is about, man. That's all these years. He started now. He started back in his very first video on Dr. Umar was in 2018, and originally though his very first video. I seen it. He talked about Dr. Umar. He talked about Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he talked about Dr. Not Dr. but Tariq Nasheed. Originally, back in 2018, he did one video. He talked was for 3 hours, damn near 4 hours long. He talked about all three of them. Now, by 2019, he focused exclusively on Dr. Umar Johnson. The reason why he did that because Dr. Umar Johnson was the closest to where he wanted to go and to who he wanted to be. He
mm.
stopped talking about Boyce and he stopped talking about Tariq after 2018, and because him being Umar being a therapist, a doctor, that whole realm is what it's more closer to what Lenin wanted, where he wanted to be. So that's why by 2019 is when he started his very first series talking about Dr. Umar with the
The
scammer.
shock, the shockumentary. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, that came about a year later, about 2020. That's when he really went hard on Umar. But his very first series going at Umar though was in 2019. So yeah, he dropped the talking about the other two dudes so he could focus on Umar. But so that's what
I got a question for you. Did
yeah.
he ever? Did you know that he considered himself once a Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah, yeah. Before he got into media manipulations and all that kind of stuff, and talking about family, he originally was into black consciousness. He even after even when he got into media manipulations and talking about male female positive male female relationship slash man his manhood rhetoric, he originally was part of the whole black conscious community thing. Back when he was in college. I'm from California. He's from California. I'm originally from LA. He's from San Bernardino, San Diego, and he attended the college there where he originally pursued music. And while he was at the college in Irvine, the Cal State Irvine, he pursuing music. He was also part of a black organization there. He was a leader of the black organization there, and so everything that Umar talks about now, he talked about back then. It's just
So
he wasn't a
nobody's
cop.
basically paying attention to him. So, and this is the reason. And then Umar's getting all this shine, and this is one of the reasons why he's jealous. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Umar never knew who this clown was. Umar never knew who he was until Lenon started talking about Umar. That's how
Mhm.
Umar you know, got wind of who Leonard was when he started, when his Leonard's video started to circulate on Umar. But yeah, Umar don't had nothing to do with dude.
So,
Leonard know,
so,
yeah.
let me ask you, why is he constantly, for me, why is he constantly making videos and talking about his family
Well,
members?
that,
And,
that's the
and, and
whole thing.
yeah, go ahead.
That's the
Go
whole.
ahead.
That's the no. That's the whole thing. He's trying to manipulate his success by bringing up his family. I'm a dedicated husband. I'm a dedicated father. All that stuff is just about him trying to manipulate. Look, when he failed at being a life coach, he was forced to go back to working a regular 9 to 5 job. He was working at a warehouse. He was forced to go back working at a warehouse. He was working as a forklift driver. He didn't want to do that. He wanted it, like I said, he wanted to be a global successful phenomenon as a life coach, as a so-called family therapist. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a social activist against media manipulation. That's what he was focused on. That's what he wanted to do. He's talk about government. He's talk about just corporate multinational corporation. He's talk about the exact same stuff. He's trying to flip his failure and to make people believe that he's a success story when he's not. He's a failure. So he's trying to say he originally had his kids. So back when he used to do YouTube videos and do documentaries and write books and all that kind of stuff, he had his kids out of the public school system. He had his wife. He had his kids at home, homeschooled by his wife. His wife and him used to make the little bit of chump change they made by these little businesses that they had. So his wife used to make these little crafts. She used to do this little crafts, little handcraft. She used to make make little necklaces and stuff like that, little bracelets and stuff like that, homemade type stuff. And he used to just do his documentaries, write his books, do his
Play
consultations,
a little flute. Hmm. Yeah, he used to
and that's
play the
how they,
flute. Yeah.
yeah, play the flute. Exactly. And that's how they used to make their little chump change. It wasn't enough money though, but that's how they were getting by. But he had his kids at home being homeschooled and all that kind of stuff. And he didn't have to work for a little bit because they made enough just to kind of get by, but it wasn't enough to really survive. You know what I mean? It was barely keeping their head afloat. And so he was really, really trying to make it as a life coach. So he did all these different books, documentaries, interviews, everything he could to get viral. Nothing worked. His very last documentary he did before he went on talking about Dr. Umar was that NWA documentary. It's on YouTube. It's called Beyond Blackface: A Critical Analysis of NWA. That's the name of it. Beyond Blackface: A Critical Analysis of NWA. The whole documentary is on YouTube. You can watch it. Anybody can watch it. And that was his very last documentary. He released a documentary back in 2015. That was his. That was the last thing he did before he went on to talking about Dr. Umar. Now, that was his sink or swim situation. That was his. That was his. He wanted to go back. He put his all into that documentary. He worked on that documentary for a couple years. That was his end all be all. That was his documentary he used to that was his make it. I'm gonna make it documentary. Out of all the ones that he did, he had several before it. His very first one was he did on a Disney channel. He did on Disney. It was pedophilia. So it was something about he was exposing Walt Disney as a pedophile, which he is. I did the research on him, as I do with everything. I'm an activist myself. I'm a teacher myself, and all that kind of stuff. But that was his very first work that he did, but everything he did up until that NWA thing was just a build up. Nothing went viral. That NWA documentary he did. That's when he used to try to go viral, and don't get me wrong. He had minimal success with it. That was the documentary that got the most buzz around his name, but it didn't reach the level of success that he wanted it to reach. So as he started to see Dr. Umar over the years, because during all these years, he was paying attention to Dr. Umar. He had a cousin of his who notified him about Dr. Umar. He's like, yo, this guy, Dr. Umar Johnson, he's doing what you do. He's saying what you say, and he's getting, he's getting all his money for the school, this and that. It was a cousin that put him on. And so he's been so this whole time he's been working on his whole thing. He's been having one eye on Dr. Umar Johnson. And so it just got to the point around, like I said, around 2018. 2018 was the time that he made his very first video on Umar, but it was on Boyce Watkins, Tariq, and Umar. But he stopped talking about Tariq and Boyce so he can focus just exclusively on Umar. Now, he don't like none of them. However, he don't like none of them. The only reason why he talks about Umar is because he don't want no smoke with Tariq. He don't want no smoke with his crowd at all. He don't want no smoke with him. He don't want no smoke with what's her name, Michi X. He don't like none of them. But he don't want no smoke from them either.
If he get clown, he'll get straight clown.
He gonna get clown like you wouldn't believe. So he don't want no smoke with them. You know what I mean?
Tariq be coming out with dolls and possibly a video game on.
Man, it'll be a wrap for Lenon. It'll be a wrap. And at the same time, too, he wants to attract a lot of their audience too. So he knows. Listen, Lenon knows Umar don't get along with Tariq. Lenon knows Umar don't get along with Boyce. So what he's he's using that to his advantage. So what he's doing is he's not talking about them so he can gain their audience too. Because as I said, he knows Umar and Tariq don't get along. So if he knows if he talks about Umar, a lot of their audience, a lot of Boyce's audience, a lot of Michi X's audience, a lot of, a lot of General Steady's audience, a lot of them would come to his side against Umar. That's what this is all about, man. Like, he's just trying to bring down Umar in the school. I know Umar personally. I know Umar personally. I've met him. Umar is authentic. You had an interview with Umar, and I had that interview saved to my phone. You know what I mean?
Nice.
That's a
Yeah.
very dope. I got a lot of love and respect for you, man. You did a really good interview with Dr. Umar. That's how I found
Thank
out
you.
about you.
Thank you.
And you know what I mean? I really like your platform and just everything you got going on, bro. You know what I mean? You're doing it. So, you know what I mean? I really wanted to make sure that you know, everybody, we're clear on the truth about Lenon Honor. He's just jealous. It ain't about the money. It's little bit, very little bit of all this is about the money. Very little bit is about notoriety and you know, just popularity. It's all about. It's 99% jealousy. It's 99% envy.
Well, let me ask you this, bro. If obviously if we had like a common enemy or whatever, and he may have said something about you that you didn't like, how many videos you gonna make about it before it's all said and done?
You don't need to. Yeah, you don't need if you don't need to need to make a whole fleet of videos about anybody, man.
You
Like
don't.
if somebody talked about me, I mean, what Umar Johnson is doing, honestly, is a good idea. He's ignoring them. I remember you saying he should shoot him. I see everything. I see every video every live you do. I see it.
Mm,
Um, as far as suing and all that, Umar Johnson has tried to take down his videos on all that. YouTube is not going for it. First of all, YouTube is making money from Lenon. Second of all, you have to understand too, he's partially doing what white people want him to do. He's partially doing what the government wants him to do. Like they don't get it wrong. Like don't get it twisted. The government and YouTube and all white folks, period, bro. They're in alignment with Lenin honor. Like you know what I mean? They don't. That's why folks don't have to really do too much against Umar because
mm,
they know they see what other black people are doing, like the Monty Woodgrains at one
mm,
point, Mr. Skinny at one point, you know,
mm,
Ian J at one point,
mm,
CD and Cage at one point, all these people, you know what I mean? But including Lennon Honor, they're doing the work for white folks. So that's why white people don't really need to do too much when it comes to Dr. Umar, because don't get it twisted. Dr. Umar is a threat to white folks. You know what I mean? He really is. He a threat to the whole
So
American establishment.
you would say that Lenin Honor is working for white supremacy. Would you say that?
He is not directly. Like he's not doing it
No.
directly, but he is he's not doing it directly, but he is doing it indirectly. He's doing it just from his own jealousy. And white
Mm,
folks know that. They know that about him. Like I said, don't get it twisted. Like they know they're aware the government is aware of Lyndon Honor because he used to talk about the exact same stuff. He used to talk about government. He used to talk about, you know, the media and brainwashing and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, he used to talk about the exact same type of stuff. Like all this Barack Obama, like everything, literally everything Umar talks about, Lyndon Honor used to talk about. So they
mm.
know what's up with Lenin. It's just they see that he's now going against the grain. Like they see that he's going against Umar, so they okay with him doing what he's doing, type of thing. That's why they never. That's why the YouTube won't ever take down Lyndon Honors, no matter how disrespectful Lenin gets. They'll never take down his channel. Umar has tried. He's tried. He's attempted on multiple occasions to take down his channel. It'll never happen. It'll never work.
If supposedly if EFI were to open up the school, let's just say tomorrow, do you think the conversation will cease, or do you
Hell
think
no. It's going to go harder because what's going to happen is Lyndon Honor is going to go harder. He's going to pay people to go in to as agents. Like he's the government to himself, bro. Like he's the government all himself. He's going to do the exact same type of shit that the government going to do. He's going to pay informants to go in.
mind you, the brother said pay people to watch it. He's been paying people though that's been watching Umar for years. Come on, man.
Yeah, yeah,
We all
yeah,
know this. We all know this.
yeah,
He's paid people to go to the when he did the festival a couple of years back. He did two festivals. One festival was
yeah.
successful, the other one not so much. But he's been paid to watch over Umar and do videos of Umar. I'm not surprised, and of course he has flunkies that does the exact same thing. So we're not shocked at this at all. But I am kind of like, so what he's doing, he is not helping the black community. He's more like hurting the black community. What'd
He's
you say?
lying to people. He's
He's
lying to
lying.
people. He's bro. I would love to do like a presentation on Lenon Honor, like on how he manipulates everything he says, everything Umar Johnson does. He manipulates everything. Like he you see what you see his shit. I see his shit. I don't watch. I don't sit and watch his whole live, but I may watch like the first 15, 10 minutes of it, 20 minutes of it. The longest I've watched was like 30 minutes or so. But I do that so I can see, so I can show, I jot down, like I take notes. I take notes. And I do
Mhm.
that so I can show people when the time comes how he manipulates everything that Umar Johnson says and does. You know what I mean? And at the same time, Lenon does that to boost himself up. He wants to make himself feel good. I'm telling you right now, Lenon Honor's wife does not agree with what he does. I'm saying that right now. She don't agree with it, but she's content. She's content. The reason why she's content, everybody needs to know this. The reason why she's content, they are older now. Lenon Honor is in his 50s now. They are older. They have 5 kids that are damn near, 2 of them are damn near grown. One of them is in college. They are making plenty of money. They are in a nice house now. She is
Yeah, due to
content.
the people. Due to the people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All those.
Yeah, he went from L.A. all the way to Utah, and I think he did a GoFundMe
He
and
did.
collected what, tens of thousands of dollars,
He did.
and Umar's a scammer.
Yeah, he's scared. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Quite
It's
interesting.
called The Big Move. It was a whole series, bro. A whole series. It's called The Big Move. He did a whole little campaign collecting money for that. People literally donate their money to that bullshit. Not only that, but he did the same thing with his documentary, the NWA documentary. He did the exact same thing. That was financed with the people's money. And but the move to Utah from San Diego to Utah, 100%. You're right. He collected money for that. He went on a whole donation campaign to get money for that, and it was wrong for him to do that. But that's what he did. I mean, yeah, they paid for that whole entire situation, bro. Then from there on, from the time he moved to Utah, it wasn't that long after he moved that he started the Umar video series, and that's how his money really started to roll, to really roll in.
All right, man. What do you have to say? What do you have to say to all these Lenonana loving Negroes around here who, quite frankly, are just sipping on the juice at this point?
I'm glad that you brought that up. Now, let me tell you something about the Lenon Honor supporters. The Lenon Honor supporters are not authentic supporters. No average person out there is a true Lenon Honor supporter. Let me tell you who these people really are. All the people who supposedly support Lenon Honor are nothing more than people who are offended by Umar Johnson's rhetoric. That's all they are. All these people who supposedly support Umar Johnson, bro, they are either homosexual, they are either biracial, or they are in they're transsexual, or they're in an interracial relationship, or they are materialistic. I'm telling you right now, or they are just are jealous, another jealous person. That's all they are, man. They're not his supporters are not. They're not authentic people. They're not regular thinking, regular living people. Like they're offended, they're hurt, they're
Mm.
upset, they're saddened by everything that Umar Johnson has been saying. Umar Johnson's truth is what's getting at him, and they're trying to get back at Umar Johnson by being fake supporters of Lenon Honor.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. The truth is out.
I really, yeah, man, I've been itching to get this shit off my chest. I really want, I just really wanted people to, to really, yeah, understand.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've been covering this for so many years through the Umar sector. And of course, I mean, shouts out to the Speakeasy for even covering this for so many years. I mean, no one over in that sector makes Umar videos anymore, except for him. Except
Yeah.
for him. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing a video. He's live as we speak.
Yeah.
Making the same old wash, rinse, and repeat live stream. So I'm kind of through with him, so to speak. But there's one particular person that, if he wants me to stop talking about him, he can always hit the link and we can always we can always have a discussion. Although KKC, he's too bitch made to even pull up. Talking about a whole pull-up team. I was like, I got a pull-up team right here. Come up and we can have a discussion about your boom coon, your ace. Since you want to make jokes about the whole bunny hopping situation, gonna Photoshop and put a white woman in front of Umar and having her kiss Umar.
So childish.
I mean, and having all the bunnies, and it's just stupid. It's stupid.
When you get the chance to, just to see for yourself, when you go on to YouTube, look up Free Your Mind, the Free Your Mind conference with Lenon Honor, and you'll see he gave lectures. Because that was a major event that he was always invited to. It's called Free Your Mind conference, and you'll see for yourself the kind of person who he was, literally before the Umar videos. And I really do hope you do that. Like when you get the time to, Free Your Mind conference, Lenon Honor, type that in. You, anybody else, type that in. See the type of person who Lenon Honor was prior to the Umar Johnson videos. Really look at it and pay attention to him, and just listen to everything he says and all that. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. He wanted to be who Umar Johnson is. He wanted to be that. He wanted to be the guy giving the advice to the young black boys. He wanted to have his own institution. He talked about on one of his radio interviews back in the day, but it was just back in 2013. He wanted to have his own healing facility for families to come in for for people with who come from broken families, black folks that came from broken families that wanted healing, emotional, psychological healing, and all that kind of stuff. He wanted to have a place for them.
And so, a friend of mine.
Ain't this a bitch?
That right there
so
is what I'm talking about.
So how come he couldn't just kept going with it? I mean, pretty obvious. We could have had more minds instead of two. Now we got one. If you know what I'm saying, instead of just having two minds, we only got one mind. We could have had plenty of minds. A building of brotherly content. But instead of that, you want to have this little sword swiping contest. But Dr. Umar, he's heterosexual. I mean, you starting to get a little bit homosexual to me because of all this stalking for so long. I mean, 10 years, 10 years, 15 years, however it is, It's just too much. It's way too much. I mean, you stalked his father, Jamal Johnson. You stalked his brothers. He has 4. You went after his grandmother and his mother. Said that he lives in a garage, and she lives in a trailer park home or whatever he was saying. I mean, that's just literally too much. All because of what possibly allegedly Dr. Umar was going to do. Dr. Umar wasn't going to do anything to this dude. He had he wasn't even thinking about Lenon at that point until he kept poking the bear. And literally, Umar had said something about him, as everybody knows. But that was so long ago. That was damn near 10 years ago, and you still salty. But now that I look at this is in vain. All this shit that you're doing, you think you were doing so good in the community, it's in vain now. It's totally in vain. Because number one, you said, first of all, you were whining and complaining about black people in your community. Talking about how they got the radios up too loud. Talking about they're doing drugs and they're cussing and they're carrying on. I don't remember a Hebrew Israelite talking down to black people, especially in their communities. No, they would try to lift people up. Instead, you're trying to put people down. And so you couldn't stand where you were at in San Jose or wherever that is. And so you tricked the people by saying that you were coming out this and that and the third, collected a whole bunch of money, and went so many distances away from California all the way to Utah. And then you're still ungrateful. And then you're saying, and I quote, that racism does not exist. In what world does racism do? What world does racism exist? And you get on him for taking pictures with women and everybody. You're just nitpicking. What up, Nightish? You're just nitpicking at this point. And now you got other people nitpicking Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar doesn't want nothing to do with you, other than possibly, if I have anything to do with it, arrest your ass for slander. But obviously, that's not my decision. That's his. I've texted him numerous of times. Please deal with the situation, because the situation right now is creepy. When he was at the school, I'm gonna tell you this story. When he was at the school and Umar was painting, he told this dude to pull his pants up. What 50-year-old Negro tells another about to soon to be 50-year-old Negro looking at another man's ass for 5 minutes talking about pull your pants up? It's creepy, dude. Very, very, very creepy. Andre, are you froze? No, you're not froze.
Oh no. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Well, but at this point, this is on him. This is on the doc. I mean, he's got his citizenship. He's fine. He's going to continue to make videos on him. I mean, Lenon is going to continue to make videos about him, per se. He's going to lose at some point in time, right or wrong. He's going to lose subscribers. He is going to lose subscribers. I might be wrong about that. He might borrow some from what's her name? AFW, not AFW, AAS, Anti-Afro Spengali. Now, Anti-Afro Spengali, we all know, has a book of tweets on Umar, and ever since then has stopped talking about Umar just a little bit. But we're all talking about one guy who is so obsessed. And I'm so glad that you, brother, have came up here and actually told the truth. Now people can roll this back, clip it, flip it, whatever they want to do. If they think you're bullshitting, they think you're bullshitting. But if they think you're telling the truth, that's the decision that they're going to have to make on their own. What do you say?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, what I mean, the proof, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. You pulled up the video. That's one of his lectures he did at the Free Your Mind conference. He did 3 in total. Well, there's 3 that's are uploaded on YouTube. There could be more, I'm not sure, but those are the 3 that are posted up, that are uploaded on YouTube. He did one in 2013, one in 2015. That one you put up was in 2015, and the last one he did was in 2018. That was right before he did his very first video on Umar/Boy/Tariq. So that was near that last one he did in 2018, the Free Your Mind conference. That was right before he gave up on being a life coach / family therapist / social activist. That was around the time he finally gave up. Right after that last conference in 2018.
He should have took a lesson from Monty Woodgrain. Because Monty Woodgrain, of course, he was also a hater of Umar, but
he
only did but so many videos and he quit. And it wasn't even a year. He quit. He had other things to do, and I respect that. But like I said, you got one man who has did this for over what? I said 19 years. I might be over exaggerating. How many years?
It was since 2018. But he didn't. But that first video he did, like I said, was on Umar/Boy/Tariq. He didn't exclusively focus on Umar until 2019. That was a big. You can look it up, or even on YouTube. It was his very first series. What it was called the scam, the school scam, part 1, something like that. But that was a series. He did a whole series. He did that throughout the duration of the time. We broke everything down to series. So he did a whole collection of videos per series. So one series would be a whole list of videos. Another series, a whole list of videos. Another like that. That's how he did up until today. And to let you know, he's not going to stop. He's in here for the long run. He is, spiritually speaking, this was by design. Umar, he is designed. He was set up. Lenon Honor is spiritually designed, was set up to challenge Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson is the one who's going to. This is going to prove that Umar is who he claims to be. Fighting with this dude, that's cool. You're gonna see that. Everybody's gonna see that later on when I'm talking about. But this is the much deeper situation. This Lenon Honor is gonna be Umar's biggest challenge because Lenon Honor is really in here for the long haul. He's in. The whole dedication Lenon Honor had for his life coaching. He redirected that same energy, that same focus, that same dedication and determination to Dr. Umar Johnson. If you understand the type of person that Lenon Honor is, you'll know he's sharp, razor focused type person. When he's focused on something, he's going to accomplish it. Like, he's going to work. He's going to be dedicated toward it. That's the type of person Lenon. I studied Lenon Honor, up and down, left and right. I study him thoroughly. I understand the kind of character type of person he is. When he's focused, he's focused. And so the exact same, energy he gave to being a life coach, he redirected into bringing down Dr. Umar Johnson. He's not going to stop until Dr. Umar Johnson is done. He's not going to stop until Dr. Umar has been liquidated. Like he's not going to stop. That's why my whole thing is I am going to, moving forward for myself, I am going to push to make Lenon Honor challenge Dr. Umar Johnson face to face. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. There is no suing. There is no bringing down his channel. That's not going to happen. Cool. Plan B.
Lenon Honor will get spanked.
I know
You
that's
talking,
why he
about
never. That's why
logically,
he.
he would get spanked. Come on, dog. He ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing to prove. Umar ain't got nothing to prove. Absolutely nothing. Challenge who? Who is running out of trying to challenge? The most that he could challenge is me. I don't know. I don't know merely enough as much as Dr. Umar. He could challenge me. He challenge Umar. Nah, that ain't no competition. That ain't nobody gonna pay no pay-per-view to see that. But he can. He totally can. I mean, in the words of I think it was Dr. John Henry Clark, I only challenge, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm only challenging my challengers. I'm not challenging my enemies, or something like that. So why would, if he's not on, if Dr. Umar is on this level and Lenon is on this level, what makes you think he's going to waste his time debating a nobody like Lenon? Why? Is there going to be some money involved? You know, Umar's going to possibly charge for this. This is going to be a waste of time. He's going to be possibly charging thousands and thousands of dollars, but I wouldn't even really want him to. I still want him to get sued for all that bullshit, but that's neither here nor there. But challenge him directly. Where would he challenge him at? I want him to come to. I actually want him to come to the school, since he wants to send people up there. I want him to get the gymnasium is renovated. You can have people in the gymnasium, and we can go intellectual versus intellectual. You know what I'm saying? You can set it up that way, but I don't think he's going to go through it. I can ask him, but I don't think he's going to do it. What say you?
No, I said we force him to do it, though. I said we forced it because what happens is we need to force him to do it in order. That's the only thing that's going to shut him up, is we force him to challenge Dr. Umar. There's no way. Look, listen. He's hiding behind he's in his house hiding in his pajamas and flip flops. We cannot allow him to continue to do that. We have to make him challenge Dr. Umar. Real talk. We have to make him challenge him because there's as a man, there's no way you can continue to talk about somebody, call somebody a fraud, call somebody a scammer, and not challenge them directly. As the people, what we need to do is, that goes for anybody in general. If you're gonna call somebody out, we need to force you. We're gonna force you to confront that person who you're accusing of being a scammer, so forth and so on. So
I kind of like that idea. I definitely like that idea. And wherever and whenever he wants it, he can get it. But I'm not gonna. I don't know how you're gonna do it. If I was really deep like that, I would go in this chat box each and every single time and challenge his ass. It's like, stop talking shit to your people and let's have a debate. That's what I would do, but I'm not in that position. If you would like to do it, please, by all means, be my guest. That would be my blessing. If you have other people that you know that can do this sort of thing, please do that. That would be my blessing, to actually go in this chat box and actually challenge them and say, yo, instead of talking shit to the people, instead of lying to the people, instead of manipulating the people, instead of leading the people in the wrong direction, why don't you take the knowledge that you know, take whatever that you know, and I want you to challenge Umar one-on-one, a debate one-on-one, a 3-part, or you can make it a 1-part series, a 3-part series, whatever. We can make this the biggest debate ever. We ain't gonna have nobody involved, no other sectors involved. We're gonna have real live people involved, right? We're gonna have people from other communities involved and be judges, and we could put up a cash prize or whatever. Donate a cause to an organization, whatever. But we can definitely get this cracked. This is quite a good idea. Instead of going online and just yapping at the mouth, we'll I think we'll have to do it that way. We'll have to do it that way. So
we have to. We have to, because he's been going on too long with this whole scam thing of Umar and staying, just being disrespectful so long that it's to the point I'm looking at it as, okay, if this is how you really feel, and if he's really a fraud like you say he is, now it's time. We're in 2025. He's been going at this since 2019. Now is the time that you need to confront Umar or shut the fuck up. That's pretty much where I'm at with it, and that's really the mentality we all kind of, who are fed up with this, kind of have. So as far as making it happen, we have to just make enough noise. We have to be loud about that, as best way we can, about how to make that happen.
Clip it.
You know what I mean?
Clip it. Clip this and make it known. I'll clip it on my end. You clip it on yours.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. We'll make this known. All right, we're gonna go ahead and transition to the next thing.
When you get a chance to watch one of my videos on my channel when you get time to. I'm an activist myself. I drop a lot of information. I'm part of an organization, so I drop a lot of good information. So
definitely put it in the private chat.
Got you.
All right, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate you for having me on, though, man.
Not a problem. You stay safe.
Have a good night. Take care.
All right, night. Peace. Told you. And I didn't have to lift a finger. I didn't have to say much. I didn't have to say much at all. The truth is out there. But now in 2025, it's high time that, we start to make noise, because enough is enough. Enough is enough. I got to pay bills, fam. You know how this works. Be back for you 2 clicks and a link.
Get ready for the most glamorous event of the year, the U2B Streets Awards 2025. February 9, 2025 at Laban Midtown, located at 641 West 42nd Street, New York City. Join us at 12 p.m. for the pre-show red carpet extravaganza and a chance to win $500 in our fashion contest. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., enjoy the gold tier experience with speakeasy confessionals, press interviews, and premium cocktails. At 4 p.m., the platinum tier includes performances, a comedic host, an awards ceremony, dinner, and gift bags. From 8 p.m., the diamond tier features a VIP after party with a DJ, aerial dance, fire performances, and gift bags. 24 YouTube categories. And many nominees. Can't attend in person? Stream the entire event live on Hush and Move Media via Uscreen for just $9.99. Get your early bird tickets before September 15, 2024. Visit now. Be a sponsor. Be extraordinary. Be there. Be great.
All right, on to the next segment. I think we done did this song and pony dance a little too long. What I originally was going to come up here was to talk about the dual citizenship that Dr. Umar has went to Ghana, and he is now a Ghanaian. I think that's how you say it. which is an awesome thing. It's a good thing. If you have never been to Ghana yourself, you need to go. If you've never been to Sydney, if you've never been to Sudan, if you've never been to the Congo, the Dominican Republic, if you've never been to South Africa, I really think you should go ahead and go. But pretty much, mind you, go as yourself. Just go as yourself. Be who you are. You don't have to take basketballs. You don't have to take footballs. You don't have to act crazy. Just go as yourself. A lot of people have gone there, who have gone to Africa, have experienced, have had the most extravagant experience of their life. I will soon, one day, if I can get this fear out of me of flying, if I can get this fear out of me somehow, some way, and it be a smooth ride there and a smooth ride back, I would, because I definitely, I want to have that experience. So without further ado, let's get into it. Fair use, fair use.
No, you're right. You're right. Like, no, I agree with you. Alaska. There you go. Um, Sally. I'm right here. Now they're swearing in. Sincerely.
There goes brother. There goes brother Efi, aka brother Johnson, getting his dual citizenship to Ghana. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing for everyone who wants to go back to the motherland and experience um, the continent for themselves. Those who haven't went, I'm sure one community has gone to the motherland before. I'm sure everybody has. I'm sure everybody here at one point in time has gone to the motherland before. If not, please go and experience it for yourself. Definitely experience it for yourself. And I want to get into the next clip because, like I said, I'm not into the controversial shit. Not, but the brother came up here. Shouts out to the brother. Um, he was spitting jewels. He was spitting jewels on me. And the Lenon haters can rewind it, clip it. I know KKC is going to definitely clip this. He can clip this also with his little gibberish. But again, we're moving forward in 2025. We are definitely moving forward in 2025. Let's go to the next one and let's see. let's get into. I think it's this one.
As I travel the world, wherever I go, there's 5 things I see everywhere. I don't care if I'm in Ghana. I don't care if I'm in Nigeria. I don't care if I'm in Malawi. I don't care if I'm in Gambia. I don't care if I'm in London. I don't care if I'm in Philly. I don't care if I'm in Brooklyn. I don't care if I'm in Jamaica. I don't care if I'm in Guadeloupe. What are the 5 constants of African people? Number 1, white Jesus.
Yeah, it's a problem. It is a problem. It's a problem.
As long as your family looks like your enemy, until your family no longer looks like your enemy, you are not nothing wrong with being a Christian. Mr. Bobby was a Christian. Nothing wrong with being a Muslim. Ahmed Sekou Touré of Guinea was a Muslim. But the images of your deities must look like yourself.
Well,
And everywhere in the world, black people are still raising their children on a diet of Caucasian divinity. We have changed that. Number 2, don't feliz tengo black women.
well,
Girls, you got to get married.
talk to your brother
When you
now.
get married today and get married next year, you have to get married like the black family is the foundation of black power. The original black power. We're not the black family. We don't know. I have to marry 1. I have to marry 2. Number 3.
Very a few.
I can count on one hand how many truly revolutionary Pan-Africanist school systems for our children I have found in the world. I remember being in an African country once, and I won't call the name, and they greeted Dr. Umar before I spoke to the students in the elementary school. And these beautiful African children started singing, "God bless the Queen." And I remember being in the Caribbean island before I spoke to a group of Caribbean African babies, and again they started singing some old slave song of the colonizer. Brothers and sisters, our children still don't know who they are. Even in Africa, they don't know who they are. So let us begin to build schools in our children need.
I don't know.
Let's teach each other. We don't come to Africa to lead, because there's so much Africa needs to teach us. We've been gone for 405 years. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Let us learn as much as we can. Let us help as much as we can.
Yeah.
Because Africa can help us restore our cultural memories. And we can help Africa restore the political struggle. Merge the best of both worlds. Because that's the way the Creator intended it. I believe that the Almighty God must have been a Pan-Africanist. Because if God was not a Pan-Africanist, why did He allow us to be sent all over the world? We were sent all over the world only to come back home and make it whole again, brothers and sisters.
I just want to say, before we continue with the rest of the live stream, is that I wish for everything that what the doc is saying to come true. Here's the problem that I have. The problem that I have is you got too many people who are divided, separated. You have too many people with egos. You got too many people who are narcissistic. You have too many people who just are just too independent of themselves. There's a bigger picture here that what you and I know. And for us to come together, like, and I know Africa has its problems too, but for us to come together, That's gonna take some work and a whole bunch of sacrificing. We don't have to trim. It's gonna be to the point where we're gonna have to trim some fat. We're definitely gonna have to trim some fat. And mind you, that I have nothing against FBA. I have nothing against Adolfs. I have nothing against any of those cults or whatever you call them. I don't know what to call them anymore. But here's the problem that I have with them. You're taking, and somebody can declare me wrong for saying this, but this is my opinion. You're taking snippets of the 1940s and the 1950s on up, and you're declaring them yours when, quite frankly, you never did anything other than the people that apparently sacrificed their livelihood to grow an institution, right? For example, jazz, hip hop, rock and roll, um, country music, they're all ours. They are all foundational. But are we not considering the fact that the more that we come at each other, and this is not just for FBA, it's for the other side as well. Because the other side, the foreigners, they come over here, and some of them, not all of them, they talk a whole bunch of shit. We get it, got it, good. We can ignore those. We can definitely ignore those people. But for those who just come over here, get their citizenship or whatever, get their green cards or whatever, and all they do is work, we still, believe it or not, need to collect. We need to get with our brothers and sisters, not just from over here, but from overseas as well. There's too much divisive stuff going on. There's too much dividing going on. If Umar wants to make this happen, he's going to have people who are very supportive, who are supportive to the point where they take his message and give it to others. It's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. And you're going to get people who are going to shun away from him. But then you're going to gain, I believe you're going to gain more than you're going to lose more. But then another thing, he's got to get the school open. He's got to get the school open, and it's going to attract more people. Getting the school open is going to attract not just more people from the United States. You're going to get people from overseas who are going to want to support this brother. Not just from the school opening, but from the belief of we have to get people together, and we have to get people together as one for one purpose and for one purpose only. And that's to gain one nation under God. One nation under God. Because we are too damn divisive. Having one nation under God, meaning that we can build with one another, not just here in the United States, but overseas as well. Do you know how powerful we would become as a nation if we can build institutions overnight over here and bring all and ship, and finally we can ship product from here to there to here, however it works. we're going to have to make some straight sacrificing as Pan-Africans. As Pan-Africans, we're going to have to make some sacrificing.
The next thing I find as I travel Africa, in the entire world, mass incarceration of black men. Everywhere in prisons, I spoke in prisons in Africa, I spoke in prisons in the Caribbean, black men in jail. How do we fix that problem? We have to build institutions.
Just imagine real quick. Just imagine your child speaking Cantonese. Your child speaking every single Chinese language. Just imagine a black child speaking a Chinese language. It's bad enough that we speak all this, have all this Mexican style going on and on and on and on. They have a Mexican channel, for crying out loud. But they can't hold shit to water when it comes to these Asians, when it comes to the Chinese people. You have two people in power, white folks and Asians. And it's bad enough that we have to endure white supremacy under this law of white supremacy. It's bad enough. Just imagine China taking over. And I know America don't want nothing to do with that. America doesn't want anything to do with that. That's why they're going to end up taking over. But you don't want them to take over. You know why? Because your child not only is going to get a piss poor education, which he's already getting, I'm telling you, the things that people are going to have to do, and I know people are not going to do them because people are going to have so many excuses. I mean, the people are here. The people are here in the United States of America. We might as well just get along to get along. For what? For what? These people want nothing to do with you. But in the next, I would say, in the next 40 years, your jobs are going to be taken away. Your jobs are going to be taken away by AI. In the next 40 years, things are not an improvement as of yet, but I guarantee you, you don't start building institutions for yourselves. I guarantee you, you're not going to have any excuses once China takes over. They're taking over parts of Africa. They're taking over parts of Jamaica. They're taking over parts of Haiti. What will you do in this situation? Let's continue.
Some of you have some great business ideas. You have to build them, expand them. You have to get brothers and sisters right here in Ghana, American African and Guyanese African. You have to get them Canadian African. You have to get them a license to operate your business. We don't come to Africa to be black capitalists. We come to Africa to be Pan-Africans. Number 5 is probably the most debilitating thing I see when I travel the African world. Every country, every continent, every island, every state in America, every province in Canada, every section of the United Kingdom, there is not one single African economy on earth that is under the control of African people. I need us to meditate on it. Not a single economy on earth controlled by African people, not even in Africa. But now that we are here from the diaspora, we will join in equally with our Ghanaian African brothers and sisters to build economy and take back all that the Chinese has taken from us. All that the Arabs, the Lebanese have taken from us. Take back all that the East Indians have taken from us. You know, Bill Gates is in Africa. I'm trying to convince the African Union to force our farmers all across the continent to only buy seeds from Monsanto. There they go. They don't want African people eating real food. They only want African people eating genetically modified organisms. We have to fight that. And that means we need to have a black farmers conference where we blame the black farmers from America, and the black farmers from the Caribbean, and the black farmers from Europe, and the black farmers from Central and South America together to promote just a food integrity program. Alone, we can do nothing. Together, we can do it all. Osagio said, forward, never.
Backwards, never.
The Honorable Father Messiah Garvey said, the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization. Brothers and sisters, you got to work. You got to work. The only people who should be resting is our elders because they made the age 65, and all we need them to do is give us our wisdom. They struggle enough. Our Ghanaian African elders, our American African elders, all of our diasporan African elders, they struggle. Let them rest, but we still need you elders for wisdom. And I think that the American African community needs to create a council of elders. Because as I travel through Ghana, as I travel through Nigeria, as I travel through Liberia, I hear about the petty differences that pop up between American Africans who brought some of that slave back to witches to Ghana. And so you need the elders to help us navigate these internal conflicts. We can't afford to fall apart over petty differences. We can't afford to click up. No more light skin, dark skin. No more Muslim versus Christian. No more American African versus continental African. One people, one family, one race, one nation. I'll leave you with this. The CIA is watching us.
Well,
on March the 17th of 1978, the United States State Department issued a national security memorandum, number 46. When you go home tonight, I want you to Google NSSM 46. NSSM 46 from the U.S. State Department ordered the CIA to create hostility and division between continental Africans and American Africans. The CIA was ordered by the president to use the media, use the radio, use the newspaper to make Black Africa think Black America hates them, and to make Black America think that Black Africa hates you. So we need to understand these divisions we did not create. They were introduced by the white power structure that we will destroy them because we are working. We'll close. Very full.
Thank you.
And before I close with this quote, I'm going to give you my cell number now.
Thank you.
Take your phone out. Dr. Umar, I'm a midwife. Dr. Umar, I'm an entrepreneurial business startup expert. Dr. Umar, I'm a nurse. I'm an engineer. I'm a business owner. I do real estate. I've been in Africa for 20 years.
Wow. So, With that being said, well, man, it's a little too quiet. Let me go ahead and put my mood music back on. Now that all is said and done, now that he has his dual citizenship, here's the question that everybody wants to know. Is he going to sell off the schools? The answer is, I don't know. Even if he did, I wouldn't raise no eyebrows. I wouldn't. I don't think he would, but I don't think he's going to. And even if he did, just go ahead and get the money and go down and go back to Africa and start a revolution from there. Because right, wrong, people here in the United States, America, especially black folks here in the United States of America, we're too stubborn. Most of us are too stubborn. Most of us are just not bright. For those who have put in work for their communities, they don't get no praise. They don't even get no shine because you don't praise them like that. You don't give them no props. You don't do nothing for them. If they were to start a council or a community meeting, some type of provide some type of service for our people, you wouldn't want to participate in that because it does nothing for you. Now, I know times are hard. I know times are rough. I know times are critical and you need the money. But as we said years ago, what does voting do for you? Absolutely nothing, because you're not voting for them to have your best interests at heart. You're voting to have their best interests at heart. They're not going to help you. None of these people. Donald Trump is not going to help you. He may give you a little coin here and there. I mean, he might give you a compliment. But what is a compliment to somebody, a black person with kids out on the street? What does it do for them? You forget he's a capitalist and he hates poor people. He would be no different from Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, all she's gonna do is lock you up. That's all she's gonna do. I think it's about high time that we do something for ourselves. If we don't want to be owners, we're going to be consumers. But if you're going to be a consumer of our goods. Be a consumer of black people's goods. Let's show the people of the world that we can actually do something without the backing of government. But that's too much, right? So that's like, and we fall in love so much. Some of us fall deeply in love with government so much. Some of us fall in love with white people too damn much. You do know that the government is made of entities, not just one person, right? Like I said, we got a long way to go and a very short time to do what is right. What is doing what? But because it's Umar, we get offended. Just like when a whole bunch of women got offended when he started saying things of, I believe, what was it he was saying? Oh yeah, that women aren't helpmates enough for black men. In other words, if he needed to level up, would you be that woman to help him level up? And a lot of you women said no. A lot of you said hell no. We're just going based off that. As soon as Umar's supposed to be the simp to a whole bunch of black women. Again, I don't even know what that word means, nor do I care. But Umar is supposed to be what quote unquote Kevin Samuels was then, which don't make no sense. Umar is Umar. Kevin Samuels was Kevin Samuels. But a lot of women were so combative that they didn't even know and put it in context of what he was trying to say. He wasn't trying to say, give your man, you know, your money or whatever, so he can level up and become the man that he should be. He was basically saying, help one another to get things accomplished, whether it be on my side or your side. It doesn't matter who's the most accomplished. If I love you that much, you should have the spirituality or the know and the wherewithal to want to help a brother come up, to help a brother get where he needs to go. White people have the connections to do all that. We don't. So if you believe that women are getting paid as much as either as much or more than men, then why not help a brother level up to where he needs to be? Even though I would definitely say that he needs to get up off of his ass and get a job and do whatever he has to do. My point being is we need to help each other. And that's what the whole message to me was about. Why are things so scary? Why are things so difficult? Because you want another fix. Or you want, as soon as he gets accomplished, now you want to jump over his side of the fence and say, yeah, I have accomplished this, this truck, getting a truck company off the ground. And here your black ass come. No, we've done a lot of things. We've accomplished much to get our truck company off the ground. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's just like me saying, I've helped my wife accomplish getting her car when, quite frankly, I didn't have a job. But I'm going to say, yeah, I helped her with a couple of bucks here and a couple of bucks there. I've helped my wife accomplish getting a truck when, quite frankly, I've done nothing. My name is not even on the piece of paper. So we all have issues, and we need to work out those issues. Black men need to be with black women. Black women need to be with black men, and so on and so forth. Because quite frankly, all these talks about men being that whole submissive talk is starting to get stale. It's starting to get stale over, a vast majority of reasons. But again, we're going to go to 2025. with the same old wash, rinse, and repeat rhetoric, and it's going to come from various sources, right? It's going to come from various platforms. So we will see what comes next. We're going to see what comes next, and by the time we're done with this whole wash, rinse, and repeat scheme, some of you are going to start shaking your heads, and you're going to start this same old bullshit ass argument about how a man is supposed to treat a woman and how we're supposed to go ahead and deviate from it. I believe it's called the B4. I'm for the B4 movement, blah, 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 blah. B4 movement meaning no marriage, no sex, no dating, no nothing. And this is one of the reasons why women of today, sorry to say, women of today don't want to get married. Women of today don't want to have children. Women of today don't want to even have sex with you. It's crazy, but it's true. Aren't you about tired? Aren't you about tired of this nonsensical bullshit? Aren't we about tired of these same little rinky-dink ass platforms preaching the same message? Aren't we tired? Well, We-On-Loc, what are we gonna do? I got a whole different formula. It's called let's start over. Let's get along to get along, but in the right way, with the right system. What do men want from women, and what do women want from men? We can have conversations like that without, jawing at each other. I don't have to let a whole bunch of dudes know, yo, look, don't go out with these hoes because the hoes for the streets. I don't have to do all that. A person's going to know once you put on a hoes uniform and you go out there on the streets. Of course, you're gonna get washed down. Of course, you're going to collect a couple of coins here. You're going to collect a couple of coins here, and you're going to collect a couple of coins there. But once they don't want you no more, once you get tired, once you get to the point where, you're not gonna get respect that way. Once you start losing respect from a vast majority of others, you're gonna get tired. And of course, you're gonna go to women. You're gonna go to women, and you're gonna want comfort from women. But then again, that gets stale. And as I recall it, do women who like women get into the worst fist fights ever? Get into the worst arguments ever? You're gonna get tired of that. So what I'm saying is, let's come back to a more peaceful and subtle solution. And I'm not saying I'm capable of doing it, but I know people who are in my inner circle who are capable of doing that, just that. And we can have conversations based on what we want. I often ask people all the time, what do you want? I ask dudes, what do you expect? I expect a woman to become a woman. Well, you gotta treat her as such. You have to treat a woman like a woman. Ain't all right, Lisa? You have to treat a woman like a woman. And she has to, in return, treat you like a man. And I'm starting to learn how submission works. Submission works just like this. It has nothing. It has nothing to do with a man controlling you or whatever. That's something somebody fed to you. Submission. If you're going to want to be with this person and y'all share many different goals and many different aspirations, and you are agreeing to his aspirations and his goals, you're believe it or not, sis, you are submitting to him. Just like he would submit to you because you have goals and you have aspirations. It's not just talking that gets it going. It's the doing. And you do for him just like he do for you. And that's more of a long and outstanding relationship. That's why I pray that Nelly and Ashante, they've already accomplished what they accomplished. Now it's just a matter of how long can we sustain this marriage, because they are engaged. How long can we sustain this relationship? Just be normal. This is not a normal world that we're living in because we're in Hollywood. We're music artists. But we're going to take some time with each other because they don't need the money, because Nelly is well established. Ashante is well established. They don't need the money. So I suggest they take their time to be with their kid that they just brought into this world, get on the honeymoon, and get right with each other. No social media, no nothing. No social media, no mom, no dad, if they still have them in this world. If not, shouts out to the ancestors for bringing them home. Same thing with Jonathan Majors and Megan Good. I hope and pray that this thing lasts a lifetime. Because it seems like to me that all these marriage talks from various platforms, there's a reason why men want to get married. And I'm not saying that women want to get married either, because women do want to get married. They want to get married to a man who tells the truth. A man who is loyal to not the streets, but to his woman. That would be her. A man who is going to be faithful to not the streets, but to his woman. But what does a man want in return? What does a man want? A man wants the exact same thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I would prefer they go at this naturally. What do you mean? What? Go at it naturally. Become friends. Become friends. We left love and all these other natural things at the door. It's sitting in the garage in the cellar somewhere, collecting dust. We don't give a damn about love. We don't give a damn about companionship. We don't give a damn about intimacy. It's all lust. And that's what we need to change. We need to get back to what worked. We need to get back to what, and take a piece, just a piece, not the whole thing, but a piece of what your grandparents went through, How did they get that spark? If they had spark at all, we need to get a little piece of that, and we need to add it to our repertoire. Just add it. I'm not saying every single thing is going to work, but damn it, at least try. At least try to be there for each other. Try to be there for one another. Let's take away Umar, the name. Just take away the name. Is the message clear to you? Is his message? Is her message? It is the mess. It doesn't get. I don't care who said what. Did you get the message that Umar, or let's just say, Sasara Ali, what she was saying about black people, what he was saying about black people, what John Henry Clark was saying about black people, what Dr. Ben Yoka was saying about black people, what Dr. Khalil Muhammad was saying about black people, what Louis Farrakhan was saying about black people? Is it resonating? And if not, how can we get this back on track? How can we get our brothers and sisters to get along with each other? Because again, I'm gonna tell you, I don't believe in this in gender wars. I don't believe it. I don't believe it in it at all. I think it was just designed to keep us separated. It's designed to keep us in check. Because if we truly believe in families, and I know we do, if we truly believe in family, if we truly believe in love in the black community, it is a non-coexistent thing, which that's bullshit, because it does coexist. You're just lazy. We're just lazy. I want what y'all want. I want this what most people would call fairy tale. I want this fairy tale to begin. What's the fairy tale? People say that black women cooperate, have these long-lasting relationships, these long-lasting marriages on a white picket fence and a dog and 2-car garage. All that's fairy tale. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, because it does happen. Well, you need to point me to where you're at, because I don't see it on my end. That's because you don't want to see it. You live in a more established state than I do. This is just a tourist town. Now, sports town. Las Vegas, that's all it is. But then again, I do see married couples, black married couples, black people in relationships. I see it all the time. Of course, you're going to get a whole bunch of single people. Duh. You just don't want to see it because you're lazy. Your intellect is full of, no disrespect to the brother, a whole bunch of Kevin Samuels talk. Kevin Samuels was calling out the women, and how much they weighed, and giving them a 1 out of 10. A 1 out of 10. How are you on a 1 out of, scale yourself on a 1 out of 10? What do you think you are? And some of these knuckleheads are dumb enough to call themselves a 10. Nobody's a fucking 10. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Nobody is a fucking 10. Nobody. maybe Lisa. Lisa, I will consider a 10. 10 be actually I scale it a little differently. I scale it 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, number 1 being the best. I would think Lisa would be number 2. I can't say number 1 because I'm you know, she's married. But I would damn near say she's number 2. I scale differently. But the point is, they were always calling and verify. You don't need a Negro to verify who you are. You know who you are. But we're so entertained. You want to be entertained? Why don't you watch the documentary of Emmett Till? Watch that documentary and be entertained. Don't be entertained by none of this garbage. That's all this is. It's a whole bunch of garbage. We support garbage every day through Cash App. Don't we? We support garbage every single day. It's fun when we want to laugh. It's fun when we want to joke, we want to play around. But when I mean garbage, I mean this same old song and dance, this pony ride. The same old walk it, you know, goeth around, merry-go-round, pony ride. You know those ones when you go to the carnival and you put your daughter or your son on those fake ass horses, and it's the same old. That's these talks, these relationship talks are going absolutely nowhere. It's not even improved. People aren't improving because people aren't getting married because it's the same old wash, rinse, and repeat bullshit. No one is getting married. No one's getting married off of this. Nobody's going to Lapeef and getting married. Nobody. And don't get me wrong. I have no issues with JR. I have no issues with none of those people over there. But damn it, if you want to get married, and this is no shade to nobody. If you want to get married, you have to start off as friends, not enemies. There are too many enemies amongst each other. You know what that's called? Willie Lynch. You having the women fight the men because you believe that they're weak when they're not. They're not weak. They're not weak at all. I've ranted long enough. I have ranted long enough. I'm not as strong as Umar, but I'm getting there. I am getting there. See what the doc got to say.
To go serve a white man and then come home and serve you too. There can only be one king. Which one is it? Because if it's you, why she got to go slave for a white man?
Ooh, hold on.
First of all, you can't expect a black woman to go serve a white man and then come home and serve you too. There can only be one king. Which one is it? Because if it's you, why she got to go slave for a white man?
So then I have to ask you,
You can't
you know,
have it both ways.
Cat Williams set the internet on fire last year on Club Shay Shay, where he mentioned this year. I'm sorry, I'm already in the future, goddamn. Where he mentioned all the celebrity black actors that have the superficial, light-skinned black wife. They put a picture up of all the people we were talking about. They all have like the same similar looking
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I never watched the interview fully through, but I didn't know that there was a segment where he dealt with the light-skinned white piece.
Yeah, I was like, what do you think about that? Because he showed
it's intentional.
Is it intentional?
It's not just the actors. You can come into the Black consciousness community.
Oh.
You can come into the woke world. And all the people you see on YouTube talking black talk, look at their wives. Most of them look like they can pass for Latino.
What do you feel that is?
Self-hate.
Self-hate, wow.
Let me give you something. And these are my heroes, so I'm not putting them down. Sheikh Anta Diop. Has anybody ever heard that name? No. You need to look him up. CheikHantadiop. Sheikh Anta Diop. He wrote a plethora of books that everybody needs to read. I haven't read them all yet. One of them is The African Origin of Civilization. This is the black man who snuck into the museums of Egypt and took skin off the mummies of Egypt and came up with a melanin dosage test to prove that the Egyptians had to be black based on the amount of pigmentation in their skin. He revolutionized the field of anthropology. And guess what? His wife was white. What am I saying to you? Knowledge and consciousness does not replace conditioning. You can know everything about Black history, but if you have not internalized it, if you are not convicted by it, you can still be a coon. And I'm not calling an ancestor that, but I'm showing you that just having knowledge of self does not preclude you from falling victim to the same types of self-hate as every other black man in the community does.
So when you see
black men are in large part light-skinned supremacists. We are biased towards lighter-skinned women. We are biased towards mixed-race women, and we are extra biased towards white women. Yes, black men, not just in America. This is global. Black men globally, African men, due to self-hate, colonization, slavery, indoctrination, we are biased against our dark-skinned and brown-skinned women. Yes, we are.
Lisa! Oh, Lisa! Lisa, my light-skinned friend. You have any issues to what the doctor had to say? She's a big proponent of white skin supremacy herself. But I'll say it like this: I have no issues with your skin tone. I have no issues with it at all. I don't give a damn. Listen, the Shamar Moore versus Morris Chestnut talk. I don't care about none of that shit. Because at the end of the day, if the police pull both of y'all asses over, both of y'all asses is going to jail. Or both of y'all asses is getting shot. That's all that is. That's all that matters. So we got to get past this. We got to get past this whole skin tone talk. Nobody gives a damn about it. If you're an actual American African or whatever, if you're a true Pan-Africanist, if you're a true FBA, let's just say that for instance, because a lot of this FBA shit is just out of control. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, we don't like each other because of the color of our skin. I'm talking about in-house. I'm not talking about outside. I can give a fucking less about what white people think. I'm talking about in-house stuff. If we're fighting because of the color of our skin or where we're from, if we're from Guyanese, if we're from any other part of the globe other than America, and they come here to work just like everybody else. They come here and they get green cards. They get everything the right way, just like everybody else. And what the hell is the fuss about? All they want to do is work. I have never ran into. I told Dark Lake this the other day. I said I have not ran into anybody yet that said that they were better than us. I haven't ran into that yet. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just where I live. Because quite frankly, we get along. It doesn't matter where I go. When Sonia Massey got murdered, and I'll hit on some updates a little later. When Sonia Massey got murdered, and we did the whole conference over there in North Las Vegas. Guess how many people came? First of all, it's not only how many people came to express their gratitude and their condolences to Sonia Massey, but the type of people that came and supported. I don't care who you are. I don't care what group you came from. Bro, that makes no difference when you're in a revolution and you're fighting for your life. I don't give a damn if you're light skinned or not. I'm fair skinned. You're light skinned, and this is a dark skinned brother. Both of y'all gonna get rifles from me. And we're gonna fight. And we're gonna fight to the death to get where we need to get to where we need to be, to get where we're going. We're gonna fight to the death. I don't give a damn who you are. Shamar Moore, I'm handing him a weapon. Morris Chestnut, I'm handing him a weapon. Malcolm X, I'm handing him a weapon. Martin Luther King, I'm handing him a weapon. It doesn't make a difference who it is. We need to stop this shit. Freddie Lou Hamer, I'm handing her a weapon. I'm handing him, her, him, her. And we're fighting. We're fighting this system that apparently is putting most of us in check because we don't want to face the reality that this shit is not for us. It has never been for black people, but we put up with it for so long. The time is now, ladies and gentlemen. The time is now. That we will not put up any more of this light skin, dark skin shit. All that's out the window. I don't give a damn where you come from. If you're an American, if you're from Africa, if you're from Brazil, if you're from Canada, I don't care where you're from. If you are African, you have a place here. If you're from China, and I don't know why black people aren't from China, you have a place here. If you're from Guatemala, if you're from Sudan, if you're from Argentina, wherever you're from, if you're from Australia, there are black people, lovely black people in Australia. Lovely. Yeah. Good eye, Mike. You have a place here. On the We-On-Loc Nation channel, I am declaring that you have a place here. I forgot my British brothers and sisters. You have a place here. Simon, sad as I hate. That's the type of person that you want to smack up sometimes. Excuse me, all the time. He has a place here. My point is, all my brothers and sisters, the time is now. Fuck the name on the card. What was the message about? And can we acknowledge the message that he was stating? Can we acknowledge the message? Can we get along with our brothers and sisters once again? I want to have a conversation. Definitely want to have a conversation with DJ. I definitely want to have that conversation because I truly believe that we can get back on track. We can definitely get back on track in 2025 because I want to be the one. Well, let me not say that. I want to be the one that gets people together to become the leaders that we should be. We, not I, we. Because I cannot do this by myself. I even stated that. I cannot do this by myself. That's why Lisa is one of my favorites. Brownie is another one of my favorites. Bridget, another one of my favorites. Antisocial, another one of my favorites. Dark Lake, we can get along to get along. If we can get to a place in this short amount of time that we're on, he can definitely be one of my favorites. Vaughn, you know you're one of my favorites, bro. You're one of my favorites. And T, do I have to say it? L Nix, do I have to say it? The sky's the limit. In this small little space, we can multiply it into many. But we all have to be on one accord. We all have to be on the same page when it comes to these social media trips. We all have to get along. Let's continue.
To go back to Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders real quick, when I watch a Colorado Buffs game and I see the girls waiting when they arrive on a bus or, they get on there, it's nothing but, the snow bunnies. They're screaming, hooping and hollering. And it makes it seem like, I remember there was a movie called He Got Game where it showed the college life where he has a threesome with 2 snow bunnies. And it's almost like they made it seem like that's more fun. That's part of college for the black man or the black athlete. What do you say to the black athlete that has to kind of go against that when that's all they see?
Here's the thing. Again, the situation don't make the man. It reveals you to yourself. Look at brother Noah Lyles from the U.S. Olympic team. Did he not just marry a dark-skinned Jamaican sister? You see what I'm saying? He said, I don't care what the world want me to do. I don't care what my Olympic coaches want me to do. I know this ain't good for marketing, but I'm not here for that. That's my queen. She chocolate, she black, and I'm going to marry her. That's why I got a lot of respect for Noah Lyles. He went against the grain. He went against the grain. But you got 2 things here. Black men feel that you're not a success unless you have a snow bunny. Part of the black man's definition of success is the snow bunny. Trae Young married not too long ago. Joel Embiid married not too long ago. They know them white women wouldn't have married them if they didn't have money. They know they're being used, and they do it voluntarily. And they know when they run out of money, she's leaving. but they don't care because they're caught up in the matrix. You see? So, but you also black women have a role in this. First of all, black men are not teaching black boys to stay loyal to black women. And black women aren't teaching black boys to stay loyal to black women. I've had black mothers tell me they don't feel comfortable telling their sons that they can only date black women. How are you a whole black woman complaining about not having black men, but you can't tell your son to only date black women? Because it's a conflict of their religion. White Jesus won't let them tell their son that they can only date black girls. We are a walking contradiction. The very things we need to do to fix ourselves, we find an excuse not to do.
Man, that's crazy.
Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say was the agents for professional athletes and entertainers, they tell them that having a white girl will be better for your marketability because we have to make you more acceptable to white people. So they're told to get light skin. They're told to get, if Travis Hunter's girlfriend carried on the way she carries on in public, if she was dark, they would have told him to drop her.
Free.
They would have made Travis Hunter drop her already. She's still standing because she don't look black and don't identify as black. I think she identifies as Latino.
Now, I the Latinos, right? We have a lot of Latinos there.
You got white Latinos, you got Latino Africans.
Right.
Latino is an ethnicity, not a race. You can be of different race.
Okay. But then I think you probably asked about, because a lot of them appropriate the culture, but you feel like they belong there. They're not appropriating, they are black.
If you don't identify as African, you are appropriating the culture. I don't care about your biology, I care about your psychology.
Right. Now, what I was gonna say is, so I remember you was talking about the sisters and how they dress. And one of the things he was like, the sister is beautiful, but until she learns how to cover up and be more modest, I believe you talking about Sukihana.
Black women in general,
right,
could stand to dress a little more modestly. They could.
Okay.
Some of them are objectifying themselves to the point where it almost appears that they're selling even when they're not. And it's giving our daughters a bad influence because they also feel that I have to sell my body in order to be attractive to a man. So they need to calm it down, right? But that's not my biggest issue because not all black women dress in a promiscuous way. My issue is the fake hair. They got to give it up. First of all, y'all spending too much money on this fake hair. That money could be doing so much for black women, not a melanin in your body. So we had to be black. Every prophet was black. There was never a prophet that came into this world of any religion that was not an African.
No, for sure.
We never make nobody speak for us. We let Barack Obama waste 8 years of our time, ain't do nothing for black folks, set us all the way back. Obama, not one.
Can we recreate a Black Wall Street?
Absolutely can, when black people value independence. Remember, when they burned down Tulsa, when they burned down Rosewood, when they burned down Charleston, South Carolina, when they burned down Wilmington, North Carolina, because we had dozens of Black Wall Streets. Tulsa was just the most popular, right? But guess what? After they burned down, a lot of the black people came back to rebuild. You know what happened? Their children and grandchildren wanted to integrate. They did not want to have their own. We prefer white. We want access to white proximity. Remember, we had 500 hospitals that was black in America. We had 500 hospitals.
Hey.
Not one today. Why? We want proximity to whiteness. We move into white neighborhoods because we send our kids to white private school. We go snow bunny hopping. We love white people. And we don't want to admit it. Black people are in love with white folks. You niggas here, you love them. You love them. But we don't want to admit it. And psychologically speaking, if you don't admit you sick, you can never find a cure.
I have to say this because, a Superman trailer just came out. Brand new Superman movie.
More white.
Yeah, blue eyes. Yeah. White, and it's supposed to give
a black woman's ideal husband is Superman.
it's supposed to give even the young black kid hope. Do you feel like we're losing, like where they don't have no black superheroes, kind of across the board almost?
We need to come up with a whole new movement of new black superheroes. We need a strong one. We could take our kids' minds back. We could take our kids' minds back. I'm working on the Prince of Pan-Africanism series now, where I'm going to deal with racism, bunny hop, and everything.
To be perfectly honest with you, the black superhero is the dad. Excuse me, the father. Now, I can tell you the difference between a father and a dad. Dads come and go. A father is sustainable, lasts forever. Same thing with a mother and a baby mama. Baby mama, you're gonna be dealing with her for the rest of your years, no matter what the case may be. A mother doesn't have to feed you all that drama, all that unnecessary junk. You get the difference? You get the difference between a father and a mother? Father, uprising, uplifting, strong, vast strength, courage. Dad can be considered lazy and just non-consistent, improficient, just nothing. Mother, nurturing, knowledgeable, and a whole bunch of other words that I missed. Baby mama, very, ignorant, just for the streets, blah, 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 blah. Anybody can be a baby mama. Not everybody can be a mother. Anybody can be a father. Anybody can be a dad. There's a whole bunch of dads all over the place that don't even claim they see it, which is sad. But it takes a real person to become a father.
It's going to be a nice joint. But here's the thing. Superman is the children's version of the Christian church. You go to church, there's a white savior. You go to the Superman movie, there's a white savior. What's the difference? Why is it okay to worship a white man on Sunday, but it's not okay to worship a white man on Saturday at the movie theater? And you know what's crazy about all these white superheroes? Guess where they come from? Guess where they come from?
The sky.
They were all plagiarized from African divinities. Aquaman is Olokun. In the Yoruba pantheon, Olokun is...
If you're not familiar with the coffin text, if you're not familiar with the hieroglyphics, if you can't read the hieroglyphics, especially, I have hieroglyphics on my coat, and I read some of them. Some of them have Amun Ra, Satepan Ra, Agul, Amun Ra. They have all those things. I gotta look that stuff up all over again. The one person that was good at this more than me was Shakim Ra himself. I don't know where Shakim is at, but let's continue.
Is the male spirit that owns all the water. Holly Berry Storm, that is a divinity known as Oya. She's my mother in the spiritual world. She's the Empress of the Winds. She's responsible for revolutionary change.
Ooh.
Wolverine is Ogun. Incredible Hulk is Ogun. Thor is Shango. Superman is Shango. Charles Xavier is Obatala. They took our divinities of the African pantheon and turn them into superheroes. We will let our children worship the artificial white superhero and never tell.
Like I said, if you don't read hieroglyphics, if you don't read from the coffin text, I think I know a person who actually does that stuff.
About the real life African spirit that it was stolen from.
I never knew that.
Most Negroes don't.
I wanted to speak to when you said we love white people.
We love them.
I would say I always had a healthy fear because I knew they had access.
Why is it so wrong? Why is it so weird to say that we fall in love with white folks? Most of us do. Fall in love with white people every single day because we want something. We know we can't. This is the reason why we listen to Charleston White all day, because he's comical. He loves snitching to the police, but we love his antics all day, every day. Charleston White has been our new entertainer. Because he's been in the black community, but before then, he was in prison. He was in jail. Came out, had to do some community service. That's how he became the activist. But nobody wanted to listen to him. Sounds familiar? But you don't have to act a foolish inkling for you to get notified. Too late. People know that you making noise, and people are noticing you because you make so much noise. And now you're calling out the best of the best that we have. You already got bopped upside the head. You got bopped upside the head while in a barber shop. Charleston White was in a barber shop and he got bopped upside the head. He has no real protection other than the police. He has no real protection. He does this just to feed off egos, just to feed off of his own ego, just to feed off of, black people's fears. Sound familiar? Where was I going to be at? This is not a conversation to be having about Charleston White, because Charleston White, almost forgot. He's attacking FBA people now. Oh my God. He's attacking FBA people. Oh, what's next? Adolf, what's next? Michi X, what are we doing with this guy? He's not one of us. I will say that for one. He is not one of us. Will never be one of us. You keep him in our neighborhood, that's on you, my homie. We might end up kicking you off too. Those who cherish Charleston White, y'all might as well just get on the same fence with him, because he's an agent of chaos. Y'all don't even know it.
Access to certain things that I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The police. Mm-hmm. When the police come, don't matter whatever the situation is, it's you. You did it. You going to jail. And that was always, it was like everything was always built for it to be on their side. Absolutely. You grow up fearing that, so you rather not mess with it. The black people, you don't fear that because they don't have no access to law and
absolutely. A white person, even if they're poor, they have access to power. I might be a homeless white person, but let you do something to me. You have no idea that my uncle is the chief of police. You have no idea that my father is the judge you're going to see tomorrow. You have no idea that my cousin is your wife's boss. Even if a white person doesn't have power, they have access to it They are in a spider web. They are a spider in a web. All I got to do is shake the web and I can still get your ass. That's what we don't understand. There's no such thing as a powerless Caucasian as far as black people are concerned.
Like Paul Mooney said, when you see a poor white person, you just say, that's a waste of white skin.
Well, the difference, though, is they could always decide to get their life together.
Right.
See, a white man can get a haircut and an education enjoying the power structure. You can get a haircut education, you're never going to be into the power structure.
Zuma, let me ask you,
hey, people don't give a shit. But real quick, I was going to show you something real quick. When I say hieroglyphic, I can't even say it. When I say hieroglyphics, there's only one person that I know that teaches about Kemet, Egyptian, all that old stuff.
Here on the books in stone, we have the evidence. We have the evidence from the books in stone that our ancestors carved as though they knew that one day the story may not be told. And these biblical stories that we've got, that's all we've known. Like Moses and the bulrushes, who had to hide from the so-called evil pharaohs out to kill the firstborn of the Hebrew people, even though there's no documentation of any Jews, Hebrews, who were during this time in Kemet. Now, here we see the story in stone, the original story, of a Set hiding in the papyrus swamps. Here we have Amun holding up the letter Am to a Set, and here we have our holy child right here. Also, look at the three coming to bring gifts and things for the holy child. Look, 1, 2, 3, go. Others are coming right here to with the duel. Okay, admiration, because this holy child who's born of a holy birth and immaculate conception, Haru, has come to rule on earth. And also that the evil brother of Asar would not rule, and that is said. So we see all who are coming because of this holy birth that is taking place. Now what we see in this picture now is corrupted to who? Moses and the bulrushes.
So if you ever want to take the time out to study your lineage, there it is right there. If you want to take the time out to study your lineage. Most Negroes don't want to take the time out to study anything because they're afraid to pick up a fucking book. But if you want to take the time out to do it, then by all means, I beg of you to do so. Because it's time to put the video game down and pick up a fucking book and read. Right? And let's continue.
The power structure. That's why people say black people are racist. Black people can't be racist. Yeah. Racism is complete domination and control over resources, opportunities, and privileges. Black people don't control no resources. You don't control no opportunities, and you don't control no privileges, so you can't be racist. Can you be a bigot? Hell yeah, you can hate white people because they're white. But can you do anything about your bigotry? Hell no. Racism is discrimination times power. You got to have the power to impact people. If a white person get mad at you, you automatically start thinking, who do they know that me up?
Facts.
You get pissed off at a white person, they laugh and keep going because they know you know nobody.
See, this is the part right here. Check this out. This is the reason why I said I did a video on white people using the N-word, right? Because thanks to one chaotic truth, everybody knows who chaotic truth is. But thanks to chaotic truth, he has white folks come up on his channel all the time and say some horrific shit. Sharon Bracey did the exact same thing, had a white woman come up in there and yell out nigga so many times. It is ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And I said, since we don't have the power to shut these these people up. Since we, waste our time or gas money, go find these motherfuckers and put it into them. What does that do? What does that do? Instead, I said specifically, let them say whatever they want to say. But now my dream is ultimately going to come true due to Donald Trump being in office, because he, paraphrasing, he did say his first, in his inauguration, his first act of law is to unlock freedom of speech for everyone. That's including white people. And I said, well, that's a great thing. You know why? Because even though we are in a part of the city that these white folks aren't in, and they can shoot, or not shoot, they can do a live stream, or they can shoot a live stream wherever they want. No one can do anything to them. We can't do anything to them because of how bold they are. So they can say anything that they want. We know who white folks are. We know what they represent. Oh, no doubt. But for you to yell and scream and call them crackers and everything, they used to that. They used to that shit. So I say, let them say whatever they want to say. Let them have their freedom to say whatever the fuck they want to say. Of course, we do need to check them, but to threaten them and say, I'm going to beat your ass, there ain't nothing you can do because you're on the other side of the sticks. They're in Virginia and Vermont and LA. You might be on the East Coast somewhere. You're in New York or New Jersey somewhere. You ain't gonna fly 1,000 miles out to do anything to them. That's just dumb. But YouTube has over, I believe, 1 million plus people watching. They might catch your channel that they're on, the ones that are yelling nigga, 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 this, nigga, 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 that, those specific white folks, you might catch them. The ones in your area, you might see them on the street. I'm gonna leave it at that. But like I said, please say whatever you want to say. I have no problems with it. No problems with it whatsoever. Because you're gonna say it anyway. You're gonna say the ignorance of that word, because us brothers know what that word truly means. You're using the opposite side of it, which is black something, whatever. So you can act like a Klansman all day. I can't talk to you one-on-one. I can't get with you one-on-one. But the rest of the people who are watching this, who are in your region, they can. Good luck. And I give a disclaimer: We-On-Loc Nation does not glare any violence whatsoever. However, you know the consequences and repercussions of your actions, white folks. Now let's continue.
Who can mess with them? And the Negroes you know in position who could mess with them, they too scared to mess with them.
The military. Should
I don't want us in the military, especially not now, because peacetime is over. If your son or daughter get into the military now, they're gonna have to die. Excuse me, they're gonna have to go to the front line. Their life will be. We are not as masculine as we used to be. In fact, we may be the least masculine generation of black men that ever walked American soil.
And that's a tough thing to hear.
I agree. Most of us are some chicken shit ass cowards. A bunch of sissy ass punks. For whatever reason, we shied away from the real work. But I want to give a shout out to DJ Hamp. Give a shout out to my brother DJ Hamp for even setting up YouTubers, fighting in a ring. I would rather have that than have some sissy-fied punk pull out a weapon on another brother or another sister just for bragging rights, just because he can do it. Or you get some nigga who's so sensitive. It's like, there's too many sensitive ass niggas nowadays. Too many. And we need to weed these out. There was one story in the Bible where Jesus was doing parallels, and he was basically implicating that when their seeds are born, they're born within a certain region. And he threw one of the seeds at some grain. And he was basically emphasizing that when you're born in this culture, this region or whatever, your seed's going to end up growing healthy and strong if they follow the will of the Lord. But he ended up throwing some more seeds into a grain of thorns. Not a grain of thorns. What am I talking about? He ended up throwing some seeds of some thorns. And he said, not following the will of God, following your own way, trusting your own way, could put you in a sticky situation. And then he also threw it in a bag of quicksand. If you don't get your life together, your life can end with an instant. That quick. So basically he was speaking in parallels. I think there's parallels. That's what I feel about most black people. Not following the will of God is one thing. Terrible, right? But going against your brothers and sisters in a way that would generally get them hurt, killed, or whatever, that's a cowardly way to do it. Or turning in and doing the worst of the worst to your brothers and sisters, especially your sisters. You're going to be choking on your own issue if you don't get this thing fixed. If you don't get this thing fixed proper and getting it right, getting it done right, getting along with the sisters within our communities. There ain't gonna be no more talks. Pretty soon there ain't gonna be no more talks of family. There ain't gonna be no more talks of marriage. You're gonna have people like Darwin, aka Bruiser. No disrespect to Bruiser, but he's just too funny. You're gonna have Bruiser. I'm gonna stop messing with that guy. I'm gonna stop messing with him. He's just too funny. He is just too funny. I mean, he's real serious about his work. You should go follow him. You should check him out. You should definitely check him out.
Men don't compromise.
Yeah.
We compromise on everything.
How do we? And I'd be worried about having this conversation, especially on camera, because I've always.
Go ahead.
Like, how do we mobilize? Like, when do you ever think it'll come be a time where we mobilize, when we say enough is enough and we mobilize?
Here's the thing. When people have self-love, they will move out at the drop of a hat because they have self-love, right? Black people don't have self-love. I'm speaking of the group. The only way you can motivate a group of people who don't have self-love is through necessity. The only way Black people are going to stand up and fight back against racism is if they beat us down so bad, we feel compelled to react. Are y'all following me? We don't have enough love to organize beforehand and prepare. Only people who love themselves prepare. Black people don't prepare for shit. We react to everything. Reaction is only anger. When Michael Brown got murdered, we reacted. We should have reacted, but there was no proaction after that. Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, Tommy Wright, Sonia Bland, Sonia Met, right? Yep. We react. Anger. It's easy to tear shit up. It's easy to tear shit up. That's anger. But when are you going to build something? What was ever built as a result of one of these police genocides? Think about that. Did we build anything as a result of Trayvon? Did we build anything as a result of Breonna or Tommy? No.
Right.
Because you need love to build. We don't love ourselves. So the only way you can motivate people who don't love themselves to act, necessity.
You know, I feel like, and then you say that and it's so true, you know, I've watched my mother live through the condition that was so bad sometimes. It was like.
And he's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. I mean, look at the Lenon honor situation. I hate going back to that, but that's the only thing I can think of right now. You're hating on a person who you may have, let's just say you might have the same intelligence, the same, pretty much everything, you're college educated, blah, 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 blah. You might not have 6 degrees. Umar has 6 degrees plus a doctorate. You may not have those, but you do have a degree. You might have this degree, that degree, whatever. You might have, you're married with 5 kids. Cool. Umar is not married. Cool. Your rage and jealousy is a result of many, not just you and him, but many people are the one you're the one reason, not the one reason, but the example of many not getting along with each other. Because you have so much rage and so much anger with a guy who is just as intelligent as you, but knows how to put his shit out there. Has a school, has an institution, whatever. And you're jealous. Why? Why? Because he's got it going on better than you. But why does that? That's just like Stephen Curry and Stephen Curry. You know, they're like almost like twin brothers. One is a bit more successful than the other one. Although they can both of them can shoot the lights out Stephen Curry is a more pure shooter than Stephen Curry. But guess what? They came from the same father. I'm not saying that Umar and Lenon came from the same father, but they came from the same lineage. Just one's different from the other. But you will never know by this trick bag talking. Lenon and all he's doing is just talking his ass off. The same old wash, rinse, and repeat. But he is part of the reason, or the example, I want to say the example of the reason why we can't get along. He's doing that. All you had to do was leave well enough alone. And you could have gone back to whatever you were doing. But because certain things weren't working for you, and this is all true, your bread and butter, your formula is hating on a guy who wants nothing to do with you. Nothing. But you have convinced, and other people who are coming into your chat have been convinced and have been so butthurt. Oh, so butthurt about what Umar Ifatunde has actually said to you, or may have said to you, or may triggered you. And the only reason why you're in his chat, you ain't saying nothing but the same old bullshit. It's quite disgusting. If I was a person that, if I didn't like Dr. Johnson, do you think I'll be making multiple videos about him? 2018, whatever the case may be. I feel it was since 2012, but anyway, 6 years is still the most obsessive thing you can ever do. 6 years is going way too far. But like I said, Lenon is the primary example of the reason why I was this close to saying Lenon reminds me of Hitler. No, I'm sorry, that's too steep. Lenon reminds me of William O'Neill. Y'all know who William O'Neill is, right? William O'Neill is the one who helped set up Fred Hampton and helped set up the rest of the Black Panthers in getting either shot up or arrested. J. Edgar Hoover paid him well, and J. Edgar Hoover knew the exact points of where they were and everything. Shut their organization down. All because of the jealousy. The jealousy and envy. The jealousy, the envy that they have for the Black Panther movement. And the Black Panthers, all they wanted to do was not only provide, but nurture back to health. They have their own community centers. They have their own shit. They had their own nurses. They had practically everything. They remind me of the fucking Moors. But no, it's the jealousy and the envy that this son of a bitch has for Dr. Umar. And now I see so many people making Umar videos. It's quite disgusting. Well, I have to say some of it is like, whatever. And some of it is like, okay, I can rock with it. I can rock with it. The rest of that shit just needs to be deleted. The rest of that shit just needs to be deleted. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you have not done so, become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Let's continue.
We shouldn't be living like this, but if she can do it, then I know I can live like this. And it's never, I always felt like no matter what I go through, it'll never break me. But there are people who wouldn't stand for that condition that I had to live in with my mama. You know what I'm saying? They would mobilize. But we feel like our struggle, we have power in our struggle. We rap about it. We make songs about it. Like, we love to struggle. Like, we've embraced the struggle so much.
And I'll tell you why. Struggling against the white power structure doesn't require a sacrifice. To build for your community requires a sacrifice. Black people don't want freedom. We want comfortability.
Come on now.
If the white man tomorrow in Dallas said, we leaving Dallas to the blacks, all white people are leaving, you not blaming us for nothing else, we out. The city's yours. Do you know what would happen in 24 hours?
Anarchy.
Black people would go and get the white people and bring them back.
Damn.
That's how much we love white folks, and that's how much we disrespect them. No, I'm serious. We would go get them and bring them back. We don't want to live nowhere without white folks. We need to understand it. Because see, here's the thing. If the white man leaves, now you're responsible for black boys. You're responsible for the education. All them sisters who getting welfare checks and free housing, you got to fill that void now. Do black men really want responsibility for our women the way we claim? Because you hear black men saying, the welfare reduced the black woman's respect for the black man. Okay, there's a little bit of truth to that. So if the white man cuts every black woman and child off welfare in Texas, are black men going to step up and make the necessary sacrifices and assume the responsibilities and accountability to take over where the white man took out?
There's a lot of black men in the building. I don't see no heads saying
Y'all
yes.
know damn well most black men are not voting to assume that responsibility.
So let me...
Hey, real quick. Joy, what's her name? I'm having a little issue here. Is Joy Reid, what's her name? Joy Meyer, Joy Reid, Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor. Is she black or is she white? Does anybody, if you comment in the comment section, is she black or is she white? I'm having a little issue, and I ain't got nothing to say to that bullshit. Y'all beat it up to death. Oh, George, she's another one for Jesus. So what? This is just another day in the job. Another day at the job. That's why, if she, because she doesn't look white to me. Joy Taylor does not, or excuse me, I'm sorry. Joy Taylor does not look black to me. That's not a black woman at all. People are calling her black for what reason? Why? She ain't no black. She's not a black woman. Hell no. And even if she were, oh, too bad, so sad. Just another day in the office. Now, I love my sisters to death. I love them dearly. But there's just certain things you don't need to be doing and talking and doing sports, doing male sports ain't one of them. I 1000% agree with that shit. It was like, you do women's, there's a reason why there's women's sports. You didn't know that, right? But at any rate, people have been beating up that story to death, like literally. Joy Taylor is just another Joy J. Reid or whatever her name is to who's the chick that left? Who's the chick that left and copped the bag of $6 million? Who was that? Who was that? I gotta think of the name. She goes to Michigan State. Who is that person? Either way, I'll figure it out. But back to Joy Taylor. Of course, she's getting sued. She's getting sued by a hairstylist that works for Fox Sports, and of course, Skip Bayless is getting sued by her. Joy Taylor's getting sued, and a whole bunch of other people are getting sued. Okay. Oh well. Get your bag. Get your freaking bag. I don't know why this is such a distraction for black people when you have a non-African there. But again, I might be wrong. Please tell me if Joy Taylor is black. Because to me, she ain't black at all. I just thought I'd just throw that little caveat out there just in case. Y'all go to the different channels for all that bullshit. That's nothing but a distraction for me. I could care less about sports anymore. Listen, they don't even treat black people with the same respect that they treat white folks over there. You know it and I know it. You know it and I fucking know it. And it is coming to a head with wrestling too. I stopped watching WWE for a very, very, very long time until I saw Roman Reigns. Now, Roman Reigns is half Asian, half Samoan, half African American, half Asian, half Samoan. We all know that Rocky Johnson, aka The Rock, is half black, half Samoan. I love the Samoans. Anybody that's Samoan, I like. Whether you're a baby's face or a heel. I like Solo Sikoa. I love him. Love the brother. I love Jimmy and Jey Uso. I love Jey. I love Jey Uso. My point is, who's in charge of operations there now at WWE? While we're on this subject, of course, white folks. There was once Vince McMahon. Now it's Triple H, because Vince McMahon is in hell high water with, of course, another day in the office with another white woman. These white people are dangerous. They come up with Planned Parenthood. I don't know why black people are following these people. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. And then you don't want to put the titles on black folks. Some people are qualified and others are not. But it's a weird situation. It's a very, very weird situation. You got a guy who is in his 30s, in his prime, named Montez Ford, a brother who is married to a sister who has won multiple titles in Bianca Belair. One brother, one sister, and they're married to one another. They put the belt on her because they don't fear a woman. White folks in power do not fear women. Do you not get the point? But they fear you. And ultimately, you have to say something. Montez Ford, just him and him alone, is losing respect for the company. But she is very submissive to him. Has to be. But he is submissive to her as well. That's the whole point. But he can't. But the only thing that she can do because she doesn't want to be outed or she doesn't want to get fired. She doesn't want to be outed. She just goes with the punches and tell him, do what you have to do. Montez Ford knows what he has to do. Raise hell. The same thing with all the other brothers who are in the WWE. The sisters already know what they got to do. They just be thrown here and be thrown there. Now, as far John and his wife, Naomi, I don't even want to get into that. Naomi knows what she needs to do. But my point to all this is, fight for what's yours. At some point, we need to get along with each other, like this. Stop all the hoopla about light skin, dark skin shit. Stop with this whole dating. This whole we don't need to be dating or having sex or marrying before you can. Stop all this bullshit, and let's get back to the thick of things. Let's get back to the love, the intimacy in the relationship. To me, without love, there is no respect. Without respect, there is no love. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. How many minutes we have for this?
Still live under the protection of the white man's power structure.
So, Umar, let me ask you, when it comes to reparations, what would you personally, for you,
reparations?
What would that look
like? All black music comes back to black people. Nobody can sell black music but black people. Nobody can record black music from black people. There's no Eminems, there's no Khaleds, there's no DJ Vlads. Nobody can exploit black music. We own all the masters. That's Michael Jackson, that's Prince, that's Biggie, that's Pac. We own all black music, period. We're the only ones who can market it, sell it, perform it, produce it, distribute it. Black music is ours. If we only had that and nothing else,
we already up.
We could build a Black Wall Street in every city off our music.
Come on.
Music is one of America's top exports,
Yes.
Black music in particular. If we just ran black music, we could build up every black city.
Come on.
But I'm not going to stop there. All black inventions have to revert back to us too. Everything we control, everything we invented, you got to pay us a license. Cell phone,
for real,
internet, helicopter, refrigerated truck, gas mask, stoplight.
Come on, man.
A third of your medications.
Insulin, God.
The machine to make shoes.
Come on, man.
All kind of stuff, man. All kind of stuff. The lights.
Come on.
You'll have to shed blood. You're going to have to shed blood. Just like the Egyptian did. Just like the Egyptians did.
The incandescent light, the permanent light, what's my brother? Louis Latimer invented that. I want inventions, I want music. I also want control of the main port in the 10 states where 60% of black people live. So 60% of us are in Maryland, Texas, California, New Jersey, Michigan, Illinois, North Carolina. I'm forgetting something, but there's 10 states. It's 60%
give us
of
10 ports, yeah.
The port. That way we get paid on everything coming in, everything going out.
Come on.
I also want a 25% cut on all of America's revenue. Anything America make money on, natural resources. She got gold, she got gas, she got wool, she got solar power. Yeah. We get a 25% cut forever.
I like that.
Also, certain natural resources we control forever. Remember, the benefit of slavery to the white man can never expire, right? As long as there is in America, white people getting rich off it, right?
Yeah.
That means whatever we get for reparations should likewise never expire. If it runs out, you got played. Because as long as America exists, she benefits from your slavery. You feel me?
I feel you.
So that's why when people say money, I don't want no money. Why we got money on the list of if you are asking for cash, then your reparations list ain't worth money.
That's what I said.
Because your reparations list should put you in a position to make all the money you want on your own. What you need to pay out from him for. But black people are so worried about money that we can't see the bigger picture. We also fail to recognize that reparations is not just for us living, it's for those gone and those not yet here. I ain't heard nobody talk about how much we're gonna put to the side for the generations unborn yet.
Money depreciates in value. This is the reason why things are high. You keep printing and printing and printing, and the next thing you know, you wonder why you're paying so high on your mortgage, why you're paying so high on rent. People need to learn not all money is good money. That's why when you get it, invest in stocks, invest in bonds, invest in real estate, all that shit. Because pretty soon all this is going to be gone. That's why I got confused when Tariq Nasheed's always talking about a bag. Fuck a bag, nigga. Get your gold on. Get your brick on, nigga. Get your brick on. Fuck a bag, get your bricks. Get your fucking bricks. Whether it be a brick full of gold or silver, whichever one. This money's not gonna even matter anymore. Reparation. Give me land, give me liberty, or give me death.
Facts.
And that's why I believe that this generation of blacks in America, we shouldn't get the reparations. We are too irresponsible.
Ain't ready.
We will waste it.
Yeah.
Put the reparations.
And y'all, and that's another thing. Y'all gonna get mad at him for getting reparations. Umar said we're not fit to have reparations. Who the hell is he? Who the hell are you? Just another washy, rinse and repeating, programming black man here on planet Earth. Just another governed person living amongst us. Don't even understand or the relatives of why money does not matter as much anymore. It did then, it doesn't now. Stack up on your bricks. Stack up on your motherfucking bricks.
Reparations and a trust somewhere until we get a more revolutionary, more conscious group of blacks. Let them decide what to do with it. We ain't there.
Umar's stealing begging for the community. Don't you beg your mama? As I recall, a lot of you motherfuckers like to beg for a lot of shit. Just like when you begged your mama, just like when you begged your papa. Umar ain't begging as much anymore. He's gonna have that school up and running. Just watch. But the one thing, and shout out to O'Shea Du Jackson. I don't want to say anything discriminatory about the brother, but dude, the more you talk about him, the more famous you make him. That's just it. The more bullshit that you talk about him, the more you make him famous. As a matter of fact, the more anybody who talks about him, the more famous you make him. Fraud or not, you're making him famous. And pretty soon you're going to be making me famous as well. Because once he comes out with the school, and people still gonna talk. It's not gonna matter. People are gonna talk shit. It doesn't matter. And I'm gonna be sitting there right there going like this. I'm done. I'm done. Umar came out with the school. He opened it up to the public. I'm done. Can't wait for that day.
Yeah.
Look at all the bunny hopping we do. What we doing with reparations?
Easter Sunday.
No.
Easter
so we can blow the money. I had a sister text me one day. You know what she said? Can you stop talking against reparations because I need that money to pay my bill?
Oh man, short-minded.
Get a job.
Reparations is to repair, not to pay your damn weed bill.
Fix my debt.
Oh man! And you see Bob Johnson, the former owner of BET.
Yeah.
Bob Johnson said every black person in America, what did he say? Should get 300, or was it 500? I think it was $375,000.
Yeah, something like that.
Nigga.
Something like that. Buy that Ferrari.
$375,000. Is that even a house of dollars?
Nah, not really.
That's not even a house.
Damn it.
And this is one of your black billionaires recommend.
Look, we got rappers around here walking around with that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Backpack.
Yeah.
Come on, man. $375,000, and that's a billionaire. A billionaire
said that. Come on.
That's why you can't have celebrities.
Before we leave, before we skedaddle up out of here, because we heard all pretty much what we heard on the We-On-Loc Nation channel. I have a question. When we go out into the cities and we see these nice houses, right? We see these nice little houses, especially the ones that are getting built, right? We see these nice houses. We see these nice little communities. Remember white folks in them. Not the vast majority are white folks that live in these new community homes that are getting built every single day. Some of it, there are very, very, very few of us. Why? Why is that? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me that lives that loves living in this community, that loves living near all my Haitian brothers and sisters who I get along quite well. All my Jamaican, well, there's only one, but still we get along just great. And all these FBA, some of them are broad, some of them are just stupid. But I want to ask all my FBA brothers and sisters a question. You know what? I'm gonna skip it. I'm just gonna say this. When it's all said and done, and white folks really get tired of you, where's all that strength gonna come? Where's all that FBA strength gonna come? Is it gonna come from Tyree? Because all he's gonna do, he's just gonna sit back like he normally does. Pimpin'. He's just gonna sit back, chill, relax, wanting you to do all of the work. At least with Umar, you're standing at attention and he's right there. At least with Jay Morrison, even though he's a little bit of a trick bag himself, at least he gets locked, cocked, and loaded. Right? I mean, I think they took away his guns, but I don't know. But what is Tyreek gonna do for you? when it's time, when it's all said and done, when it's time to start locking up, and manning up, is he going to be there in the front lines? Hell to the fucking no. No, he's not going to be on the fucking front lines. So we need to stop this. We need to stop this front shit and realizing y'all getting played. Adolf, they've been there and done all that. I could give not Carnell. Why I got Carnell on the brain? Yvette Carnell. I mean, I don't like her too much, but at least Yvette Carnell has been there and done that already. Has been to the Capitol. Has been been active. Been an activist. Tariq is just playing around. Let's just keep it 100. But now you got other people who got their own, who doing that online shit. FBI for life. Hey, fuck the Africans. What? Fuck the Africans? Really? You're really gonna say that with a straight face and say fuck the Africans? Without Africans, without Africa, you wouldn't be here, you doofus. But I'm gonna let them roll with that narrative. When y'all get tired, right? Hear me and hear me good. When y'all get fucking tired of this FBA shit, of this Adolf shit, please come up to me and let me know when you get tired of it. Because what they're doing, they're not doing this, they're doing this. Or maybe they're forming their own tribe. You never know. Because you do have tribes that didn't like each other in Africa. But at least they respected the grind. Here, I don't know. There's too many FBA motherfuckers that are doing this. Doing this and not enough of this, or doing enough of this. All they want is this. There's a bag that we need to collect, and you're not gonna collect it. Sorry. You're not gonna collect it. You're just doing that. You're just doing that for a purpose, for your own little sick little game, and you're getting rich off of it. Congratulations, Tariq. Congratulations. Now, I'm not gonna front on you like Charleston White did. Charleston White went straight for the neck. He's like, fuck Tariq, fuck Tariq. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Because what Charleston is doing is just he's a fake, he's a phony, he's a bum, he's a crackhead, he's a wino, he's scum. I don't like him. I do not like Charleston White. I just do not. But most of you motherfuckers entertain him. And he is enjoying this shit. Like he can't stand still, fucking crackhead. But I'd rather listen to Tariq 24 hours. I'd rather listen to Tariq Nasheed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, than having to listen to this Charleston bum. I'd rather sit there and stomach Tariq pimpin'. What's been pimpin'? I'd rather listen to that garbage all day than I've been listening to fucking Charleston White. But then Charleston White gonna smarten up, and he gonna have some big balls to come after both Tariq and Umar. Get your paper, sir. Meanwhile, I'm stacking up on my bricks. And I'm getting right. Because push comes to shove, All they're going to do is just burn this paper to the ground in order to have a coin that we can't see. What if the lights go out? What if the electricity goes out and we don't have our Bitcoin wallet? Uh-oh. You can't do nothing with the Bitcoin wallet. You can't use it because all of it is like electronic. So what are you going to use? Stack up on your bricks. Stack up on your bricks. This is We-On-Loc Nation. We-On-Loc Nation, aka the Lock Sector. Anybody is welcome in. I want to thank my man from earlier for coming on, showing us some love. I gotta stop doing that. Just write some shit down, will ya? Andre, thank you for coming by, brother, and blessing us with that knowledge. And we gonna get with that. We gonna get with that thing sooner than later. Best believe that. We're gonna make some noise. Best believe we're gonna make some fucking noise. Other than that, I want to thank everybody for coming through. This is We-On-Loc Nation, of course. Signing off.